In your presentation today, you talked a lot about growth in population and emerging markets, and the fact that you believe that food demand will be stronger than predicted by the FAO. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure.
And the implications for farm prices?
Okay, I'm going to go back to a line that I came up with 5 years ago. The rise of emerging markets I call the shifting tectonic plates of the global economy. When the plates shift in physical geography, it means earthquakes and a lot of turmoil. And that's what I think is happening right now in the world. We're seeing emerging markets rise up because of better policies. They've out of the financial crisis. It's in emerging markets where all the strong economic growth is happening right now. So places like India and China are both able to grow at 8% real terms this year. On top of that, they have faster population growth, certainly in India, than we do in the industrial world. So you put the impact of demographics and faster economic growth together, and you have rising demand for food. You have an emerging middle class, which is estimated to be as much as 250 million people in China, probably another 100 million in India. And then you add in Brazil and Indonesia and many other countries. And you can see where the global demand for food is going to be over the next, say, 50 years. I made a comment about the FAO outlook for food demand. I found the numbers actually quite modest for the emerging markets. I think there's going to be stronger growth there by virtue of it, as I said, population growth, but more importantly, rising incomes, rising demand for calories, wanting to eat more food. And that's where the global demand for food is going to be over the next half century.
In your comments, you also mentioned, hey, prices are higher than they've ever been. Get used to it.
Yeah.
Give us your perspective from the future in prices.
Well, I'm not an ag economist, but I am an economist, and we always fall back to supply and demand. So I've talked about the demand side already. More mouths to feed with rising incomes in emerging markets means strong demand. On the supply side, we're seeing a waning of productivity growth in agriculture over the last 25 years. And as right now, productivity is barely keeping pace with global population growth. But anytime you have a situation where demand is strong and productivity growth is not strong, and of course there's no more arable land, we're already seeing limits on water supply around the world, that means supply constraints, and that turns into strong prices. As we saw in 2006, 7, 8, then prices fell off during the financial crisis. They're back up to where they were in that period. And almost all the analysts believe that that's what the shape of the future is going to be. Strong prices for agriculture products for many years to come.
Talk a little bit about productivity. You just told me that you came back from Farm Tech out west.
Yep.
And you're talking with 1,500 farmers, using tremendous technology, from seed technology, from GPS technology, really trying to push yields and productivity. What needs to get done to make sure that productivity matches demand growth and population growth?
Well, I'm not a plant scientist or an expert in ag. I grew up in, I'm an urban kid from Winnipeg. But I think you really have to examine every input, every aspect of agricultural production, from the use of technique to water usage to seed variety to the kind of crops we're putting in the field, and then management practices, wrapping it all together. So productivity, there is no quick fix to productivity. I've looked at this in many sectors, and the truth is there's no silver bullet. It's a lot of hard work on a lot of fronts if you're going to boost yields, but farmers know that. They know how challenging it is to actually get more output off a given acre or hectare, and you've got to do a lot of things right to increase output.
Great. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.